And we're live. Hello, welcome to this piece of show.
Did you curse already? Come on, man.
I did not.
Oh shoot!
I stopped myself.
Jesus.
You stopped yourself within the first 2 seconds.
Woo,
Doesn't count.
Wait a minute. We have a third person.
Piece of schlop. We have a recurring guest now as an actual guest, Mr. Jose. Welcome, Mr. Jose.
Hey, it's great to be back.
Welcome back to the show. You're on almost every single episode through the voice clips. So.
So when I'm not here physically, well, I'm there in spirit.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, you are.
Yes. We got a lot of topics for you today. A lot of some controversial topics again. You can't escape the controversy.
Can't wait for those. Some of my favorite.
What are we doing first? What are we talking about first? What are we angry about first?
I figured we'd talk about the Assassin's Creed news that's happening now.
What happened with this game?
Should we even hop into this first? This is we're like jumping right into the fire. Should we?
Show me the trailer. Show me the trailer of this game.
We're gonna watch the. We're I don't even know. Are we gonna get like demonetized for watching this trailer? Or even is the trailer? Did we even post this? Oh yeah, I did. We gotta scroll up quite a bit. Is this it? Yeah, here we go.
Trailer of this game.
Here's the trailer. Let's watch the trailer, shall we?
So why are there black people in Japan? I mean, I know historically speaking, there was apparently a black person in Japan. He was a servant to Nobunaga, I believe. Nobunaga was a tyrant-style leader, maybe a dictator. Some would say he was considered to be the Japanese Hitler.
We're gonna jump right into this right away. We haven't even watched the trailer. Can you relax for a moment?
All right, start showing me. What's going on? What's going on here?
We got this Japanese man with some kind of armor on. Looks like samurai type armor.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who do you say?
Ah, yes! I was wondering.
Show me your body.
All I have ever known in my life.
A Ubisoft original.
No, it's not original.
It's not original? You're saying it's a Ubisoft derivative?
Same thing, different coat of paint.
Same code, same assets,
my family
same engine.
burns
Me on the left
in the
clapping.
name of unification.
We see some turmoil here in the Japanese lands, feudal Japan. Some people getting routed. Oh, she saved that guy from getting routed.
Lord,
Oh, there you go. No extra 5 seconds on the timer.
she had to slow down time to get the quick time event to hit him.
Had to pull out that Wesker mode nonsense.
You are still a frog in a well who knows nothing of the.
And there we have him. There are two protagonists for this game. There is this ma'am on the left and this samurai-looking person on the right. Now, for a samurai, he looks pretty samurai'd out. Like that other guy we saw wasn't that swagged out. He just looked kind of generic. This dude, I don't know, man. He looks like the final boss. What do you guys think?
Play the video. Play the video. I want to see
well
this.
who knows
What's
nothing
going on
of the
here?
sea.
What's
The
going on
ocean
here?
is filled with new ships.
What's going on
They all
here?
come from
What's
the
going on
same river.
I like those ships.
Greed.
All right, pause it right there for me. All right, pause it right there.
Who's
All
doing
right,
this man's hair in feudal Japan?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand. I do not have.
You don't
a
understand, bro.
With no, I don't
Maybe
have
he
a
brought
problem
his
with black
hairstylist with
representation in
him.
gaming. It's fine. All right. This is my issue, all right, and people need to admit this, all right.
Admit it, people. You heard him.
Is this individual a captured slave? Do you understand where I'm going with this? Like, what is the actual context of this game? What are they trying to represent here? There's nothing wrong with a black representation in gaming. We've had that before. We saw it in Streets of Rage 1. The main character of that game was actually black. A lot of people forget that. Fast forward to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. CJ was black. There were many other games before that. There's many games before that they had black protagonists. They just aren't known. This isn't an issue. Is this more of them using a political self-insert? Did they really find this necessary to do? Could they not find anyone else, historically speaking, as a protagonist in this culture?
Well, you see, Japan is a very large, big country, especially during feudal Japan. They were like, who can we pick to represent Japanese culture best in this game? And they picked.
Listen, shots out to the great island of Nippon. All right.
They found the one.
Japanese, very intelligent.
I don't know how, but they found the one.
PlayStation 2.
They found the one black person to represent all of Japan.
The most xenophobic country on earth found the greatest black person ever to represent them during feudal Japan.
It's a very strange design choice,
Well, here's the counter argument. Neo is a game that is a similar time period, samurais and such, and the main character, William, is an Irishman. It's not a Japanese person, even though most of the game is taking place in like Japanese type areas and using Japanese enemies.
Was it the white man going to Japan? That's why we made that joke. What's the white man doing in Japan?
The game starts in the Tower of London, like the first level.
He just magically washes over to Japan.
I don't know the lore, but apparently this William person he was actually a samurai, whereas Yosuke, in the shown here with his fantastic hair, he was a retainer, a sword carrier apparently for Nobunaga, and
Nobunaga.
He was apparently kept around as a curiosity.
Yeah, he was like a little toy for him. And people, I mean, oh, good Lord, the Japanese were very experimental with their sexual experiences. Let's leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. So we don't really know what was going on out there, all right? Let's keep it real.
You got the big pee-pee.
What if it's a humiliation ritual?
I mean, it might be part of all that type of stuff for sure, perhaps. But I do want to touch on that counter argument though for them putting this protagonist in the game is people will say, and it kind of has somewhat of an argument that Neo had the white protagonist via William. And people didn't care as much. And I should state that Ubisoft is a Western company, and was it who made Neo? Was it Team Ninja? Is it a Japanese company?
Yeah, Team Ninja. I think it was Tecmo or Team Ninja, one of those.
Team Ninja. So there is that counter argument for.
I mean, I feel like there'd be more accepting to it because it's like a whole Japanese and Western philosophy. Cause at least with that, from the Japanese side, you're at least gonna get good gameplay, and they're not gonna try to shove things down your throat. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Any sort of political agenda, you're just gonna get a game. So it's basically how it used to be. You get any sort of protagonist, any sort of setting, but at least you're gonna get some good gameplay out of it. So it's like whatever. Nobody really cares. There's no agenda being pushed behind it. But I feel like nowadays people feel like now it's being shoved down their throat with the whole DEI nonsense going on.
What if they made the protagonist Dominican?
That'd be even worse.
Here's the thing that I personally don't like playing as William in Neo. I would have much preferred playing as a Japanese person, much like in Sekiro, and I believe Ghost of Tsushima, the main character is also Japanese man. Like if I'm gonna play a game about Japanese culture, I want to play as a Japanese dude. If I'm gonna play a game about Egypt. I want to play as the Egyptian dude, which the other Assassin's Creed game did do, where you are, was it Mirage or something? Where you are playing as an Egyptian person.
Yeah. And can I make a quick comment?
No, you can't. Anyway.
All you guys are phonies because not one of you mentioned Onimusha. You guys are phonies.
Me? No, sorry. I'm sorry. You did tell me to
Very
play that
good
game.
Beautiful game. But that's besides the point.
Have you played
I'll tell you
Onimusha, Jose?
Yeah, I played and beaten it. I mean,
speedruns
Duke was doing a speed run for me the other day at Nemo's place. He never finished it.
Yeah, I didn't
disappointed.
finish it, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was getting far. I was getting far too. That was the fucking sucky part.
I did both 1 and 2. I got a little bit into 3, but I never beat it.
I gotta play those at some point. But
I'll get
anyway,
back into the speed run.
let's continue
Let's
watching
finish this trailer. Yeah,
Any
play
more
this
thoughts
trailer.
on this scene and who's doing his hair?
I
Beautiful
mean,
hair.
I'm not gonna lie. It does remind me that one time Brandon had dreads and had his hair like that. I will say that.
I'm not saying the hair is bad. I'm saying who's doing his hair. Who's doing it? This is very he's in
I have
Japan.
no
you know?
idea.
I feel it's
Maybe
Listen,
he
it's like-
taught somebody.
it's
He brought his
complicated.
skill set.
I'll say this: whoever designed it, like Endgame, they did a very wonderful job. Like they really captured the texture of the style of the hair. Like they really did it perfectly. I mean, look at that, yeah.
it's probably a
And you
face
saw
scan.
the back dread, but that was still good. The back dread still fell when he lifted his head up.
Mm.
You know, so that was actually really good. I like that.
Vengeance.
Here we have Yosuke as a black samurai cutting through a whole bunch of other samurais, looking like a final boss.
I mean, they're just creating him as. They're just forcing the mythical aspect of the character. You know, we already know the historical context behind him. You know, they're just gonna. You know, eventually they'll make animes about him, and they'll.
I'm pretty sure there is an anime. I think it released recently. People were talking about it. That also did this sort of thing where they made him a.
Look
I'm
more
not-
powerful than what he really is.
I'm not opposed to like
yeah.
a fantasy type element of like a black samurai, or whatever, like Afro Samurai, or whatever the hell. I don't know if he's also based on.
See,
on
the
Yosuke.
Afro Samurai was an original IP, and that was a wonderful IP. Wonderful show. I mean, oh my god, I love that one. And the game was good too. I don't know if you guys played that one.
No,
I
I
played
didn't.
it.
I played a demo of it, and I wanted to play the full game after the demo. It's just that I think at the time GameStop didn't have it, but I wanted to play it
Sucks.
like years.
It's pretty rare too. It's up there in pricing. You know, it's a good game.
And you? Will you continue down that river? Or choose another path beyond what we see?
I want to ask you guys, where's the gameplay?
Yo, I thought all new games were just movies. Like there is no gameplay.
This is the same thing.
Nowadays, you get like 5 hours of cutscenes and just 3 hours of gameplay.
3 hours of gameplay. You're lucky if you get an hour of gameplay.
Oh, even worse.
You know, like most of the games are just complete cutscenes. They're just cinematic experiences. That's it. You know, visual ecstasy. I'm always trying to explain this to people. These
And
games,
they weren't
suck.
kidding, man, when they said that the PlayStation 3 and 4 and all that stuff was like the movie machines.
I mean, that
a
was the
jo-
start.
It was a joke that turned into reality.
I mean, but can you really blame them? You know, like, are we really gonna blame Infamous and all those other games? Come on, man, it's not fair.
To be fair, at least those games had gameplay. Like there was something there. It was just like one of those slippery slopes, I guess, as time went on.
I think majority of Ass Creed is mostly gameplay. As we hit the 14-minute mark here, I guess we can go a little bit more into the swear words. But
No, it's fine. We'll keep it contained.
I think, you know, cinematic trailers are nice and all, but I prefer to see at least some kind of gameplay woven in, or like some inkling of it. This is just all cinematic, and at this
Yeah,
point,
it makes me.
I'm
Because it makes
I'm
you
2
feel
minutes
like
in
you're
and I'm
watching
bored.
something. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're watching a trailer for something on Netflix or HBO or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, where's the game?
No, he's right.
But people were like so hype about this, like, oh my god, it looks great. It's like, where's the gameplay though?
It looks fine and everything, but who cares? We got into a point where graphics are like diminishing returns, bro. It's like, how
We
much
must
further
look
can we
for
push
it.
the envelope? Where's the gameplay? What is the creativity with the gameplay? That's what you play games for, the gameplay.
Where's my climbing mechanic?
We must learn to trust. Rebuild.
Like, it's strange because he stands out like a sore thumb. You know.
And follow the
Well, I guess he's not supposed to be the sneaky one. He's at least out in the open, which I guess I can respect them for taking that approach, because if they had made
that's why
him
I'm
like
saying it.
the sneaky character, like I'd be a little confused. But we can see here she's gonna be the sneaky one. He's gonna be the combat focused one.
So there's 2 assassins, you know, or is
Yes.
just gonna be one? Like, is she the main assassin?
I'm wondering who the person in the pod is related to.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask next. Who's the person in the pod?
That was like such an interesting aspect of the first like 2 games, and then after a while it's just like, yeah, who cares?
They ruined it. Yeah, they ruined it. You know, very Matrix-like. Oh,
What is this? What is this effing? What is this fucking music playing right now?
He couldn't contain himself any longer.
What is this shit? What the fuck?
Seems so out of place.
oh, you got the battle mace.
Can this trailer
Cool,
be?
different weapons.
What is this? I feel like I say this every time we watch this. What is this?
No, but what you thought
Wait,
about
wait.
that snow though looked
We missed-
realistic, right?
We missed a line here. Hold on.
Said, who do you serve?
Akuma teleportation.
Shadows.
that served the light.
Teleports behind you, nothing personal, kiddo.
Oh, pre-order available
November
now.
15th.
Yeah, day one buy. They got my money. I was convinced of that teleportation tactic right there.
All right, guys. So the base game for the standard edition, you get the base game and you get a pre-order bonus for $69.99. For the gold edition, you get the base game, the pre-order bonus, you get the season pass, 3 days early access. Keep that in mind. 3 days early access for $110. And then for $130, it also includes the ultimate pack. Or, if you don't want to pay that much, that seems like a lot of money. For only $18 a month, you can get Ubisoft Plus and get all that.
Yikes.
What did you just say?
You pay a monthly subscription to get all of that, bro.
Yeah, Ubisoft
Gaming
Plus.
is dead. Gaming is dead. Am I paying for a service or for a fucking game?
Oh wait, it says
What is this?
it says 100 plus PC games, including new releases. That's a lot of
But
games,
do you
dude.
own them? You don't own any of those games.
Hold on, let's see some of the games they have. Let's see. What do we got here? Platform, PC. What do they got?
I mean, to be fair, we don't really own them anyway if they're disc based or whatever. Because I think after the PS4 or something, they did something that was like licensing.
Yeah.
So you have to have the actual disc inside the console,
well,
and then it
that's
just
why.
downloads it to verify everything.
That's because these devices now are all online only. They have to be online regardless. You know, it's not like with a PS4 you didn't have to be online. You could just pop the disc in and play it. You know,
That's
like that.
That's how the PS5 and the Xbox Series are now. I don't even have them, so I can't even
Yeah.
like comment.
You know, it's not like before where you bought the game system and you bought the the cartridges and you own them. That was it. You just couldn't reproduce them. You can make a copy of that game cartridge, but you couldn't give it to anyone else.
Oh, so what you're telling me?
In pirating.
All that nonsense that everybody was shitting on the Xbox One back in the day, like they always online, you always verified this thing, the Kinect spy camera, all of that came to fruition anyway.
It came to fruition regardless. Yeah, it came to fruition.
Yeah, so everybody complained. Everybody did all this nonsense just to buy it anyway.
But because it's Sony, you know, everything's fine.
Oh
Not evil Microsoft and Bill Gates. Yeah, it was the bait and switch. You know, it was terrible what they did.
You guys are awful, bro. I don't know how any.
I'm trying to find an image. I seem to have lost it. I was doing it on this website before. Oh, here we go. So let me see if I can open this up. There we go. All right. So before on this UI, I guess they changed the UI, or maybe I'm on a different website right now. But it said there was, it says 100+ games here on Ubisoft Plus. And I was like, okay, so this was the total number of games they had listed there, right? And I was like, okay, cool, 337 games. Okay, doesn't sound like a bad deal, maybe.
Yeah.
Hold on, I seem to have lost my other image I just had. Here we go. And it seems they have 55 Assassin's Creed games they had listed there.
So what do you mean 55 Assassin's Creed?
Oh, what?
Is that DLC included?
So
it has to be like DLC and updates and stuff like that. It cannot be used.
It was something like this. It was like the game itself, and then next to it would be the gold edition of the same game. It seems they have either changed the UI or I'm on a different website for Ubisoft Plus.
No, it says it right there. Go back up. Yeah.
No, they had way. This isn't all of them. They had way more listed there for the 300 games or whatever. I wish I could see. I wish I could see the list I had pulled up before. Maybe it's a different website. But yeah, 55 Assassin's Creed games out of 337 games, and there were other entries like. Almost every game had at least 3 entries for like all its editions. So what 100 games plus are we getting here? It's more like maybe 10, maybe.
You need to ask yourself this: when you buy into these subscriptions and you gain access to these libraries, what library are you actually touching? Is the current gen library? This is it?
Yeah, this is the list.
Yeah, you gotta understand. Are you in the current gen library, or are you getting the past libraries? Are you getting any of the PS4 catalogs, the PS3 catalogs, the PlayStation 2 catalog? No, you're not getting any of that. You're only gonna get whatever games they release at the moment.
Damn.
And they're probably terrible.
It was one of these lists.
Come on, Brawlhalla.
It's already free. That was already free.
Brawlhalla.
Hold on, that's already free. Hold on. Look at the bestsellers. You got Skull and Bones. You got Avatar. You got Rainbow Six. With a monthly subscription, in about maybe 6 months, you have all the games you want anyway, probably.
I don't want to play any of these games. I'm sorry.
You don't want to play Prince of Persia for $60?
It's a terrible deal.
A game that looks like it should be like worth 40.
I don't. Jose, please enlighten me. Why would I buy this?
You wouldn't. Now, if it was me, I would tell you to Google a certain way to get it, but I'm not gonna tell you how.
We do not condone piracy.
I didn't allude to that. You didn't hear that from my mouth.
We don't condone it.
I think I heard Johnny Depp talking about something like this.
What did he say?
Nothing.
Oh. So tell me, why is everybody up in arms about this game?
Before we move on, I just want to. I'm over focused on this. The season pass. What's in the season pass? What's in the ultimate pack? Why the hell do I even care about playing the game 3 days early? What is this industry? I don't understand. Anyway.
Then they're gonna have people that are gonna get impatient. I can't even blame them. Because I was in that predicament with the Dragon's Dogma release, but I wouldn't pay extra to play it 3 days in advance.
That's still not gameplay. Yeah, I don't.
There's a certain limit to like foolishness.
What other? Can we move on from this garbage?
No, why are they up in arms? What's the whole racism aspect that they're trying to pull?
Well, it's like I mentioned earlier. Yosuke was only Yobunaga's his retainer, and the people defending were like, well, it's actual real person from history, this and that, and then the other people were like, no, actually, he was, but he was this. He wasn't a samurai. He was. There are rumors that Nobunaga told people that he would make him a samurai to make them angry. Stories like that, and one way or another, I don't really care. For me, gameplay is king. I enjoy all the controversy and all the bickering. I think it's funny. And
No, you're gonna get those people that I'm like, okay, but how does this affect you personally?
Oh, that's
you're gonna get that crowd.
That's what they're doing now. They're like, okay, it's not a real story, but it doesn't matter because Assassin's Creed has never been accurate to history or whatever though.
Yeah, like, oh, you have a problem with it now? How about back in the day when this and this was happening? You didn't question it.
It's fine
my
actually
issue with
because.
Oh, this is my thing. How did the Japanese feel? Because we're just a bunch of Westerners. We're not even from Japan.
Japanese. Don't we have something? I think I've had it pulled up first. Now I've lost it. Hold on.
Lord, here we go. Terrible episode.
Terrible episode. Here's a tweet, an X, whatever this is. The Japanese are not happy with Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is when is this from? The 17th, like 3 days ago on YouTube.
20.
And mind you cannot see the dislikes. I don't know if you can see the dislikes in Japan, but you can see them on YouTube.
You can. There's a add-on that you can use.
Well, the add-on only works based on other people who have the add-on installed.
I mean, over 24K.
So the number is actually larger than this, if that makes sense.
No, I understand.
Because this is a number. This is the dislikes of people who have an app, who have an extension installed. And I don't install this extension because I don't care that much. Maybe I should. I don't know. But yeah, apparently they're not too happy about it. I read some of the comments. They were very racial.
Oh, good lord. I mean, how would you feel as a Japanese person? The Americans present you a new game. You want to become excited about it.
Do they even care about Western games besides like Apex Legends for some reason?
I don't. Oh,
I don't even
that's another
know.
thing.
I don't think so.
I think a lot of this is fake. They're just fishing for views, conversation. They're just trying to get people fucking riled up.
As funny as it is, isn't the Switch the main thing selling over there?
Yeah.
Yes, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah, so I don't think they care about the Sony PlayStation or the Xbox Series X, whatever the hell it's called nowadays.
Speaking of which, 50% of 118 million PlayStation users sticking with the PS4 despite PS5 launch. Oh boy, they got their Blu-ray player, it's over.
They made it so difficult to buy a PS5.
Yeah, they had that artificial shortage back then. Like, you better get it before it sells out. You don't want to miss it, blah, blah, blah. And then all these people wanted it towards the end of COVID back in 2020 and the beginning of 2021. Then as time went on, like, where are the games? Why do I want this anymore? It's like, I'd rather just play on my PS4. It reminds me of this whole situation with the PS3 and the PS4, where it was still making games for the PS3. Even though the PS4 is still out. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep playing this on my PS3. I already have a PS3. It'll just look slightly better graphically. But who cares? I'm still going to be playing the same game. They're not going to take away, like, features or anything. It's the same thing.
Well, to be fair, some of those games did run better on the PS4, which is fine, in a technical aspect. But other than that, yeah, you were getting pretty much the same product.
Well, with the development cycles getting longer and longer, this was bound to happen. You get a lot of a bleed over in the games, like, okay, this is releasing on both consoles, and this is releasing on PS5 with higher graphics. This is gonna release, PS3 or PS4, whatever, with lower frame rates and stuff like that. And for some games, it mattered more than others. But definitely with the fact that the PlayStation 5 didn't really have as many appealing titles is kind of a shot in the legs. They tried to do something with Demon Souls, but it seemed to have not have worked too much. Because besides from Demon Souls, what else did they try to, advertise this console as? I think Spider-Man might have been a better selling point, but it took so long for it to come out. I don't know if anyone actually cares.
Some people were more angry at the fact that was another game that had self-insert political themes and so forth. And a lot of people that I knew that were young, they were like, "Where's the fucking gameplay? I don't care about none of these side missions about Mary Jane. I want to play as Spider-Man."
But another thing too is with Sony putting so many of their catalog on PC, some people are just being impatient and just want to build a PC and just play it there. It's like, why am I going to commit to this if it's just going to get ported? You know what I'm saying? It's going to get ported, better FPS, higher resolution. I could play it on my keyboard or with a gamepad, whatever. There's better options.
It's definitely more convenient too than having to boot up a console, to pay for online services.
Exactly. All that stuff is in one box. It's convenient. You just go through your library, pick and go, boom, and you don't pay for any like online subscription. Like you said, it's all free. It's just a game right there.
Very, very strange. And it's funny that they didn't mention none of the PS3 users, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot bigger also. Because there's still people playing PS3 games, and a lot of those lobbies are still alive.
I wouldn't even doubt it, because with the closing of the Xbox 360 marketplace, a lot of people were making posts online about how they were going back and playing it, how they missed those games, how they were trying to revive that community still. People were like dusting off their 360s. So honestly, I feel like people still play the older consoles compared to the new ones. The new ones just feel like like the fear of missing out, basically. Like, if I don't get it, I won't be able to play with my friends, or I won't be able to like talk about it, like how good it is. I mean, yeah, you got this binder, bro, like this PS5 looking binder, but what you gonna do with it? Where the game's at?
Yeah,
mine is collecting a lot of dust.
That's basically what it is. It's like a coffee coaster.
My Switch has seen more play in the past 2 weeks.
Yo, you're right, man. There's more games on the Switch that catches people's, like, anybody's eye. There's like a little bit of anything on there for everybody. So it's crazy to me. Like, people really like look at the Switch. Like, oh, I don't want this kitty tablet. I'd rather have like a Steam Deck. Like, yeah, you can have both. You get a little bit of everything with both. Like, oh, I got my PS5. I don't want to play kitty games on the Nintendo console. It's that sort of mentality. It's like. I don't know, man. Like, people could throw it back in your face. Like, I don't want to watch a movie game on the PS5 or the Xbox.
Listen, man, they're in trouble. The industry's in trouble. There's a lot of layoffs. A lot of people are getting fired. They're saying it. People are not playing these new games. A lot of people are going to PC now. What's going to happen? It's very scary. Is the crash going to happen? Is the video game crash going to happen?
I don't think it'll be a hard crash like in the 80s. There might be like a soft little reset where they're like, okay, we got to try to bring this back in and look at it from a different perspective. What we're doing now, this ain't it. People are losing their jobs. There might be a recession going on. The economy ain't doing too great. People ain't buying this stuff. We got to go back to square one.
Well, they are seeing a lot of layoffs in the industry.
Getting worse than ever right now. A lot of these games are just not up to par. I mean, we're saying it. 3-year development cycles, 4-year development cycles. When did that?
3 years is short now.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that. I know I'm harping on Dragon's Dogma 2, but that's like the perfect game that I could like plug into this. So it started off with Itsuno finishing Devil May Cry 5. That was back in 2019.
Yeah.
And during like the COVID and all that, Capcom basically gave him the okay to finish this, to start this game, the Dragon's Dogma 2. However, everybody suffered through COVID. I'm not trying to make excuses that, oh, he should have done better, blah, blah, blah. but you can easily tell there's cut content in the game. There's a bunch of caves with blocked off like passages. There's a bunch of like enemies that
DLC.
were cut. I'm waiting for the DLC. That's Capcom special. At this point, you know they already have that like
Well, yeah,
tucked away in
we
a file cabinet.
we kind of spoiled it, but a couple weeks ago, but we did show the DLC, the Dragon Princess.
Yeah, the leak and stuff.
The leak for.
I mean, it's a leak and everything, but I don't know if it's like 100% truthful or not.
It looked pretty legit to me.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm not gonna lie, it does look pretty legit. It's
I
Especially
wouldn't even be surprised that like it's a new ice region or something. It's something akin to like a Monster Hunter type of DLC.
It seems like that's the route they're taking, and it would be smart for them, seeing as how they are seeing success with that type of model. And especially, what made me believe it more was the fact that they had the Resident Evil 9 and the logo was confusing. Like if it was like an amateur job, I feel like the logo would be much more clear. But since it's like Capcom and it's their Resident Evil, they're hiding the numbers and the letters. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense that their logo's confusing.
The Capcom special of confusing everybody with the Roman numerals in the title.
These Zoomers don't even know what those are.
Like, yo, what is that, man? It's just a V and an I and an L. What does it mean?
Which TikTok is this?
Oh, good lord.
Which one of my famous TikTokers shall I go and have him explain it to me?
So, we do have this. You want to move on, or was there
I was
something you
gonna
wanted
say
to
one
add?
more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to add one more thing at least. Like, do you really think it's necessary for a 6-year cycle to develop a game? Like, is it really getting to that point?
Well,
Or
this
is it that wait, let me
Yeah,
finish really
sorry.
quick. Or is it that now, not like the industry of the past, where the industry that we have now, in terms of like the tech guys, the programmers, the coders, whatever, is it that they're not as knowledgeable with the tools that are currently available and constantly updating every day, that it takes such a long period of time to develop these games, and that's why we have these long cycles? Because they're constantly saying it. You know, they don't know how to use Unreal Tournament. They don't know, Unreal Tournament, the Unreal Engine tools. You know, they're very unfamiliar with it. They have this very large, robust library. They don't know how to make use of it. You know, it gets confusing for certain people. You know, they get lost in the sauce. You know, what's really going on?
I want to
in
be
the
a
industry
fly
right
in
now.
those rooms because I feel like in any industry right now, not just the gaming industry, that's true for a lot of people. Like, the older generation is not really passing on their tools for the younger generation to learn and to grow at a faster rate. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the younger generation
Well,
is playing catch up and trying to learn things on the fly.
here's
Those
the
guys are still learning themselves.
Here's-
you
That's
know?
what I'm saying. Like,
here's the thing, and we've heard this from Tim Kaine, who was the creator, I guess, or the co-creator of Fallout. When he was working in the industry, he said that these younger generation of developers and stuff, that they weren't willing to sort of learn from the older generation, and he felt like it was like a adult daycare when he was working. Like, a lot of things, you know, it was different culturally. Where, you know, the culture that he's from was like very much, you know, work hard, you know, put in the overtime, you know, crunch, all this stuff. And the newer generation was more very relaxed and more very, you know, not in a rush to do anything.
I think what happened there is that many of these developers started becoming superstars unintentionally. You know, I mean, we saw what happened with Hideo Kojima. You know, he's like a celebrity now.
Yeah, Kojima.
You know, look at Kojima. Look what happened with Cliff Blazinski. You know, he tried to become the video game celebrity and everything. He tried it, and then we all saw what happened. You know, shouts out to him. He's still number one no matter what. But, you know, it's very strange what's happening with the current work environment of the game industry. You know, like you said, they don't want to work. They don't want to put in it, you know, the time to make these games. They're just using the AI now. They're laying the AI code for them.
If I can step
The AI
in
aspect is here.
for a moment, you mentioned that things are taking a lot longer. This is kind of their excuse now for AI, and the whole aspect of the games taking a lot longer. It's not just one thing you can focus on. It's actually like a whole slew of different problems that all culminate to this. Everything is just taking forever now. You have the increased cost of production. You have increased number of people that are on certain teams. So you need a lot more artists to create assets. You have a lot more people in general that are on the team, so that takes a lot more management, a lot more oversight, and just a lot of slowing down of the gears. You have poor work ethic. You have a lot of these, like you were saying, that they don't understand the tools for Unreal. This is specifically like a Japanese problem where they were trying to get help from Epic specifically, and there was like a language barrier. This is what led Capcom to create and work on their RE engine, because they didn't want to deal with Unreal. It's a whole number of
made a Dragon engine.
Say again? Sega made a Dragon engine?
Yeah, they made the Dragon engine.
Yeah, you're seeing this a lot, especially from Japan, where they're trying to step away from the pre-made engines, specifically for this like type of translation issue, because they'd have like a bug or something that would be an engine bug, and they wouldn't be able to solve it. They'd have to get help from Epic. It's like a translation issue, and just a whole can of worms. And the other issues compounding on that, like generally, it seems to be a problem of too many people, too big a scope, and it takes a long time to do a lot of these things. And if it takes long to do something, and then you add people on top of it, it's going to take even longer. Final Fantasy VII was made in like 9 months or something. The original game.
Wow.
Maybe not 9 months, but it was like a year or something. Very short amount of time. Things are just taking way longer. They want more. They want every feature. They have like a checklist of all the features they want in the game: open world, combat, NPC dialogue, cutscenes. They're just going down the list of vehicles, and they just keep adding shit to the game. And at the end, it's like, what is this? It's just a fucking mishmash of fucking garbage.
It's just crazy to me when I think about during the 360 and the PS3 era, when like everything was being HD and more expensive. And mind you, a lot of those companies that were smaller, like back on the PS2 and GameCube, where they were able to experiment and put more creative titles, they were gone. You barely saw them in that generation, because it was the same thing, like, oh, these games take too long, they're too expensive. But looking at it now, they weren't really that long. It maybe like a 2-year cycle tops, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Or if it was like a bigger developer, like Rockstar, for example, their GTA or even a Red Dead will take a long time, because, like you said, they got a checklist and they want to make it, like something that would be Game of the Year category, where they want you to explore, they want you to have all these features available and to use them.
Get the
they
DLC.
Don't want you, they don't want you to feel like, okay, this is not Grand Theft Auto 3 into Vice City. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want you to feel that you're playing something incredibly new, and it doesn't feel like an expansion pack. Like how back in the day, if we will play those GTA games on PS2 and Xbox and PC, they just felt like an expansion pack, like 3 to Vice City and to an extension San Andreas.
Well, you had the whole new map, so that was an angle that you could, enjoy the game in, and kind of new aesthetics.
Yeah,
and the core engine, was the same.
No, but when you really look at that map for Vice City, I think somebody broke it down, and it's smaller than 3s.
Yeah, it is smaller than 3s.
So you can tell that they rushed it out, but they did it in a way because they wanted to capitalize on the success of the third game.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was that Grand Theft Auto 3 literally started right after the end of the development cycle of Grand Theft Auto 2. They started transferring over everything to 3D. They wanted to release the game to Dreamcast, but that the Dreamcast, I forgot what happened with Dreamcast specifically, but that fell through.
No, there was a guy. He was on the development team at the time of Take-Two. I forgot what it was. He was on Twitter basically, and somebody asked him about that, the whole Dreamcast thing.
What did he say?
Isn't it Rockstar? What's Take-Two?
Because Take-Two Interactive got bought up by Rockstar. Because you got to remember, Rockstar was using these people to develop the games. Rockstar was just a publisher, I believe, at that point, and they started buying everybody up. They were getting the funds.
I had no idea.
Sorry,
continue.
Yeah. But and then around the time when they started wrapping up around Grand Theft Auto 3, they originally intended Vice City to be nothing more than an expansion pack. So they went right working on it. You can actually find some of the earlier Vice City assets, I think, in the PC version of Grand Theft Auto 3. I forgot which version of Grand Theft Auto 3. Like, there's remnants of it. And then in the
Gotcha.
Vice City version, you can also find remnants of Grand Theft Auto 3 inside of it. So
Right.
yeah, so now, yeah, Jose's not lying. They did rush Vice City a little bit, you know, because they saw the success of Grand Theft Auto 3, and it was like, holy shit.
But that's
we could actually
in
do
my
something.
eyes, that's a good rush. They did a good job. The game was popular. Am I wrong?
Nah, not wrong at all.
Here you go. I found the
Yep.
screenshot. I'm gonna post it now in the chat.
Awesome.
Should I screen this or should I just pull it up?
All right, pull it up.
Who wants to read this?
I'll read it. It was too early to tell. We didn't have anywhere near a representative map when we were on DC. I'm convinced the rendering would have been okay, though. It seems you and Jamie King had different opinions on the technical aspect. I'm guessing you probably didn't get far enough into development to give a solid answer as whether it was viable or not.
Wait.
So, Jamie...
Wait. Are we reading this in the right? Because I don't understand Twitter. Is this supposed to be top to bottom or bottom to top?
Yeah, top to bottom.
That's top
Yeah.
to bottom.
Okay.
Top to bottom, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Jamie King was saying that it was in development, but the hardware wasn't powerful enough to run the game in proper third-person perspective. We had to wait for PS2. So mind you, they already had the assets ready. And they were ready to go to throw it for fucking Dreamcast. And mind you, Grand Theft Auto 2 got released for Dreamcast. You know? So Rockstar was more than ready to go. And I'm pretty sure they did a prototype. But like they said, you know, they couldn't get the third person working. You know, that sucks, you know? Anyways, yeah, you don't really know if something is going to work until you actually try it. I'm convinced that DC would have managed the rendering. Crazy Taxi ran in 60, so you would have thought we would have managed 30 frames per second for Grand Theft Auto 3. The DC had a very weird but powerful graphics card. I'm not sure about the disk speed for streaming, though. So they were saying that, and that's another issue.
For the open world aspects, yeah.
Yeah, they were still trying to learn that the development kits, you know? So at that point, they were asking themselves, you know, as a company, do we really want to take the time to learn this development kit and, you know, and risk it with Sega Dreamcast, or do we wait for the next big thing? You know, I guess they did the right thing as a company.
Oh yeah, definitely they made the right choice there. And you know,
There's another one too, like in the beginning, because they was doing like a whole Q&A stuff, if I recall, like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh wow, that's awesome, man.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. I was another one.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive stuff. Were there any plans for a Dreamcast version? Any prototyping done at all?
Can you read that like you're not on a drip feed for like methadone? Can you like put some energy into that?
All right. We started developing GTA 3 on the DC, but then switched to PS2 when it became clear the DC was not commercially viable. Wow, it was a shame. We were all into Fantasy Star Online at the time. Wow, so they were gonna fucking take GTA 3 online? That's how far they were thinking?
Man.
Because he wouldn't just fucking say that to say that. Because eventually, I mean, look what Grand Theft Auto Online became today.
They probably would have experimented with it at least.
And wasn't there online mods for Grand Theft Auto 3?
There are ones you could play now, yeah.
On PC, correct?
Yeah, so the infrastructure, I'm not sure how much of it was there for them to get that working. But that is interesting.
Wow. Okay, so how far did you get with the Dreamcast version? If I had to guess, I'd say we used the DC for about 4 months before switching to PS2. It wasn't for technical reasons. It looked like the DC could have handled the GTA 3. It was for commercial reasons. Wow, they sent the SDKs back. That's fucking crazy. He's not supposed to be talking about this. You know that, right? Like,
maybe there's a statute of limitations or whatever.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be talking about this.
It has been a while, so maybe that's it. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Anything you want to say about... I've had this pulled up for like 15 minutes now. Anything you want to say about GTA 6?
Ladies and gentlemen, Take-Two CEO is highly confident in fall 2025 window for Grand Theft Auto 6. Last I checked, Red Dead Redemption 2 was released on October 26, 2018. So it's been how many years? I don't know. It took them this long to make this game, and you're telling me that's okay? And you're telling me that's okay?
It took them that long to make Red Dead 2 because they had to make realistic horse testicle physics and whatnot. Mind you, this is something that they said that they were like when you were in the snowy region, they wanted to make it so the horse's balls and the fucking dick shrivel up.
Oh my god!
That doesn't take a lot of
assigned to this.
That I feel like that doesn't take a lot of work. I feel like you just
No.
scale the bone when the horse is in the cold
You gotta
area.
make it realistic, man.
That's-
You can't make it look all too arcadey.
I feel like that's a few lines, if any, and one bone or two in the horse testiculars.
But it's crazy to me that, yeah, it's like I'm saying, like they're gonna go through all the nooks and crannies, the checklists to make sure they could put as much as they can into this game. Think about it, mind you, this game, the Grand Theft Auto 5 was on PS3, and they crammed a lot of stuff into that game.
GTA
talking
5
about-
is on everything.
Yeah, but like back then when it first came out, though,
I could probably
they
buy
were
a.
like on technology from like 2004 or 5.
I could probably buy a new microwave that'll run GTA 5. But no, yeah, they did stuff a lot into that game. They kept are they still updating it for the PS3?
I don't think so. It's been a while.
I believe the servers are down.
Ah, okay. So they had everyone switch over.
Yeah, but you can do it modding wise. Like if you have a modded PS3,
Mm,
or there's a way to do it on an original PS3. Yeah, I think you have to do it through the browser.
very nerdy.
So you get yeah. It's a lot of things you gotta do. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6 is almost here. I mean, we've all seen the trailer.
What do you mean almost
Some
here?
people-
It's like a year. It's like a
more
year and a
years.
half.
Listen, it's almost here, man. Listen, just tell yourself it's
That's
almost
2
here.
years.
Maybe
That's
they'll-
2 years.
2 more years. Trust the plan.
Trust the plan. Trust the plan. It's gonna happen. Listen,
Oh,
it's almost
God.
it's almost here, guys. You know, soon we'll be able to play as a. I already forgot the girl's name. And what is it?
Spicy
Is it her?
Latino woman.
Is it her brother or her boyfriend?
I think it's a boyfriend thing. Otherwise, it'd be weird for them to be doing this pose. I mean, but I guess Florida, maybe that's the thing they're going for. I don't know.
I mean, if I ever go down there, I'll confirm with you guys. That's how they do it with their brother and sister.
Oh my God!
You gotta go to
I'll say-
Alabama, GTA Alabama DLC.
GTA Detroit. They wanted to do it. Don't forget.
So what are we thinking on this game? $200, $250. What's the price? What's the price for it?
Is this game gonna be subscription based?
I mean, the
Oh,
GTA
19
5.
a month? Subscribe like the Ubisoft, you get to play for 19 a month?
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
I mean,
Was it
why would I
$25
pay?
a month?
Why would I pay $120 up front if I could pay $19 a month?
Oh my god, that's awful, dude. You know, there's people like that, think like that. Like, I'll just pay it in small increments, you know? I'll just beat it as fast as I can, and then I'll just cancel a subscription.
I mean, you will save some money that way for sure, but I don't know.
Yeah, but you know they're not gonna do that. They're gonna get hooked. They're gonna end up paying like $400.
That's how they get you, right?
Exactly.
Well, you know, if I play this many games, then they start playing more games than they would have normally to compensate for paying money for it.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Well, anything else we want to say on GTA? I'm not a big GTA person. I'm more of a small GTA person.
Listen, man, if they're gonna release the game, they're gonna release the game. If not, then I'm waiting for Max Payne 4.
I mean, if they let's assume all the assets they make for this game are suitable for them to make a Max Payne. Let's say they could reuse a lot of stuff. Like, maybe they can get it out in a year or two. If that was what they were gonna do.
I mean, they already took Max Payne 3 and put it like in a, I want to say tropical setting, but like he did go to Brazil and stuff.
Hmm.
So it's like, do they really want to go through the same thing again?
Wait, didn't they
Send him to
release?
Ukraine.
Didn't they release another Max Payne game a while back?
No, I
Yeah.
think they were talking about trying to do a remake for it.
Yeah, as I'm saying, they need to send him to Ukraine now, or send him to Russia. One of the two.
This shit. How long ago was this?
Bro, that was back in like 2010.
Oh shit! Oh, 2012.
Yeah,
Like,
bro, what?
that was a decade ago.
Yeah.
Time really does fly.
12 years
Didn't
ago.
this
What
just
the
come
fuck?
out?
Good Lord.
People were saying there's like a time compression that happened during the coup. Time felt like it's zoomed by, and I guess that makes sense if you're just at home, you know, ordering food and sitting on Netflix all day. You don't have any novel experiences.
Ooh.
Well, XMEN 97. What happened?
No, you want me to rant? You want me to
Go
rant?
for it.
Jose, you ready?
Oh, I typed in Xbox 97.
Xbox 97.
Don't judge me. Xbox 97. Tell us about the Xbox 97.
Tell me about Morse pronouns and all that stuff. I'm ready.
Oh no.
All right, so as everyone knows, they
Oh my God, I
took
did
the
it
time.
again.
Did it again.
Did it again.
Oh my God!
Xbox 97.
What is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this
I'm
guy?
having a stroke. It's over. Call the hospital. Tell them I'm coming.
Nice.
Oh Jesus.
So
That's the name of this episode. Oh God. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Listen, I took the time to watch this show. Wonderful show. I loved it. You know, there was moments where I did find myself where I was like emotionally attached to some of the characters. You know, but you know, Bo DeMayo, he did that on purpose. You know, but I think the only problem that I had with this show was that they're rushing storylines. You know, but obviously they're.
I don't mean to cut you off. I just got one quick question.
Well, what do you want to ask?
Is Cyclops Cyclone Kick still viable?
Of course, it's always viable. Man.
All right, that's good news then.
Well,
Yeah, and that's another thing that people were pointing out. That
you said
apparently
they rushed through the storylines.
yeah, they rushed through a lot of storylines.
Okay.
They were putting a lot of different storylines in one. But yeah, that's another thing that people were pointing out. They noticed that they alluded to the Marvel vs. Capcom series. You know, the way Cyclops did like his mega optic blast. You know, in one of the episodes.
Yeah, I
You know,
heard
so
about
people
this.
are getting really excited. You know. The only thing that I have to take a step back and try to set this up properly because, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start with this. I'm not anti-homophobic. I'm not anti-LGBT.
You're
I'm not.
wait, anti-homophobe. What?
Yeah, I'm not anti-homophobic. I'm not anti-LGBT. Just listen, guys. You guys are killing me.
Sorry.
No, I'm not.
Continue.
I'm not against none of it, but I know as an artist, there are moments where we will take some of our own experiences and we will try to self-insert it into our art. It's perfectly fine. It's not a problem. But one of the things that I've noticed, at least with this XMEN 97 series, is that a lot of people were trying to force the narrative that there were gay themes in this X-Men series. And I did take note of some of it. You know, it seems very strange to make a statement like, oh, homographic imagery, you know, because it's not really that at the end of the day. It's nothing more than cartoons. But I did notice that they were trying to force at least a homosexual relationship with Magneto and Xavier in one of the final scenes when he was holding him. And there were a lot of...
Is that like a friendship thing?
Come
Yeah, like a
on, man, but
friendship.
they're friends, bro.
Yeah,
You're
they're
reading too
friends.
much
No,
into it.
no, I understand. No, I understand that. But like, what's very interesting to me is that me being an Instagram user, me using these social media platforms, I'm noticing that a lot of these other comic book nerds who do have platforms or who are gay or LGBT, they're taking it upon themselves, you know, to push the narrative that yes, X-Men is a gay cartoon.
You know what's funny? Didn't this whole series start out as something like that? As like prejudice against a certain like class of people?
Yeah, and it's
So
like
we come full circle.
Yeah, and it's fine. And I keep trying to explain it. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, if they're trying to use that allegory now. But I've said this to a friend earlier. I've always found it very interesting that that Stan Lee made the statement that X-Men was more of the allegory of where Professor X is Martin Luther King and Magneto is Malcolm X. So they were using the civil rights movement as this theme, in terms of like, yes, like you're correct, fighting oppression, the people who we'll call, bigots, the racists and so forth.
Towards the mutants and such.
Yeah, towards the mutants and such, like obviously like those themes are there, but now they're using this IP, and obviously let's not kid ourselves, Disney and Marvel are behind this, we know what Disney is doing in terms of like what they're using the cartoons and certain messages that are within the background, that's the best way I can explain it, at this moment, because I'm rambling, but that's besides the point, so it's very interesting to me that they're using this IP right now as the product for the game.
So dude,
like
what you trying to tell me,
it's not a problem.
What you trying to tell me is that because of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, MSP and MVC2 is God tier. We have those two to thank for that.
Your number one contribution was MSP.
MSP, baby. Magneto, Storm, Psylocke. The best team in the game. I mean, listen, no, it's just very strange to me. And then there's another scene where they took the scene where Wolverine is tied on the X by the bandits in that storyline, where they took Magneto and they put him in the X, and in the same exact style, but instead he had like his underwear, and obviously he's all naked and everything. And people were saying like, this is very strange. I don't want to say it's.
Shout out to all the people that love that dad bond.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, and that's another thing that people were saying. And it was very strange to me that they were saying that for this cartoon, because for me, when I was growing up, I never thought of any of that in this cartoon. This cartoon was nothing more than superheroes kicking ass.
Yeah, I was hearing that this series was very sexual, not just in the way you're mentioning, but also through Rogue and Magneto and Cyclops and the other Jean Grey.
And Madeline Pryor and everything. And that's normal because that was in the comic. Like Magneto and Rogue did have a relationship in the comic. That's correct. When they were in the Savage Lands. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah. And they eventually had children, I believe, in an alternate storyline. Because when Magneto had what was it, Scarlet Witch, Polaris, and I think what's the name of the Quicksilver? I forgot the name of that wife that died, and apparently she had some power or something. So, but I probably got it all messed up. But yeah, like these storylines always existed, but it was very strange to me that they took these themes, and I want to keep everybody, keep this in mind, the same exact writer that did the season 1, Bo DeMayo. When he gave in the script for season 2, they fired him right after. So I can only imagine what he was trying to put in season 2, and then they were just like, no, and they fired him. Obviously the whole controversy.
Was it too straight or was it too gay? Which one was it?
I don't know. I
you gotta give us the Goldilocks. It was just right.
Because if it was too gay, wouldn't they keep him on?
I mean, and that's very strange, yeah, because you would think, but something happened, when he turned in that script, and they're not talking about it. He's only alluded to the little things.
Would you like him to come back for season 2 if possible?
I felt that he kept the integrity of the comic, regardless of, the sissy stuff, and I'm not trying to be offensive, right. I'm just trying to get the conversation moving along. Like, I could fucking care less. But it was just strange to me. Like, they also had, like, this strange, weird relationship with Morph and Wolverine, where there's certain times where Morph would transform himself into Jean Grey and try to, like, flirt with Wolverine. It was very strange. And there was another scene where Madeline Pryor was, like, controlling their minds and, like, had them in, like, this weird, like, vision. And there's a scene where Morph is walking into the shower and Wolverine is there naked you know, and he's flirting with Morph, but Morph doesn't know that it's part of the vision that Madeline Pryor is making. So it's very strange, you know, that they decided to put this imagery in this
Did
children's
that
cartoon.
have any significance to the story? I feel like that to me sounds like something just like thrown in there.
No, they just threw it in there. They literally just threw it in there. It was very strange, you know. And that's why, like there are adult themes in the comic book. You know, I want everybody to understand. There are adult themes, you know, and like there were adult themes, you know, and the original '97 X-Men, you know, and mind you, that was a children's cartoon. You know?
That when you're a kid, that stuff goes right over your head. Like Batman
Over your
Beyond,
head, yeah.
I've been watching it, and there's also like a lot of sexual themes and innuendo that I would have never have caught. But it's like very small things. Like I'm gonna go hang out with my boyfriend and watch videos. It's like what the hell does that mean?
Yeah. It was very strange, and like I said, I don't have a problem with the cartoon. I thought the cartoon was fantastic. You know, I can't wait for the Age of Apocalypse. You know, they were already alluding to, you know, to the Four Horsemen version of Gambit, where he takes the moniker of Death. You know, so I was very excited for that. You know, that they're gonna do it. You know, they went back in time. They saw Apocalypse when he was young. You know, they're going to do the Cyclops and Jean Grey storyline when they went into the future because of their daughter, but they don't know it yet, you know, because she's like 100 years old. And then they finally meet Nathan, which is, you know, Cable, and then they raise him, you know. So I'm actually hype about that. I'm actually very, very excited, you know. I'm happy, you know, but in terms of like, you know, the subtle imagery, that's the only thing that bothers me. But other than that, I want to keep everybody in mind. I could care fucking less. I don't give a fuck, all right? Just tone it down a bit, you know. Like you guys are making it very obvious.
Too on the nose.
You know? Yeah, like it's too. Yeah, it's very obvious that you're trying to, and then you have. It's like they're paying all these people, because I've watched a lot of these YouTube videos where people do like the Easter eggs for all the different episodes, and they'll do like the episodes breakdown, blah blah blah, and even there. Like the first thing they talk about is like, the LGBT representation, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I came here for an Easter egg. This is not even an Easter egg. It's obvious, you know. But they're all
here's an Easter egg, a main storyline in episode 1.
It's not even an Easter egg.
I hate those channels. It's such clickbait most of the time. Very rarely is it like something interesting.
And they're all parroting the same thing. This is a cartoon for
things you missed. Big red
arrow
pointing.
What do you mean?
Well,
it's just very strange.
We're at about an hour now. Are we gonna split this off and talk about Jose's main topic?
We're gonna talk about Jose's topic right now. We're gonna do it. This is the episode. Yeah.
Alrighty. Jose, we brought you on for a very special reason. What's going on?
It's my time to shine, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, you want the good, the bad, the ugly, all in one?
However you want to start it.
Yeah, man. This is your time right now. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, so about this fucking job market right now, what is going on, bro? Like, I'm over here applying to all these fucking jobs, like over 400 so far, all in different categories. There's nothing specific, nothing tailored to what I do specifically. You know, you want to branch out a bit, see what you can get. And it's fucking crazy out there, man. There's a lot of like silly requirements, a lot of like scams, a lot of just like ridiculous. It's like right now, I was scammed. Like literally an hour before we started this, I'm talking to somebody, like, this person calls me. No, they email me, and they're like, "Oh, you'll be perfect for this job. You know, you'll be a data entry dude. You're making 27 an hour, like all these perks, like 27 an hour. This sounds too good to be true for a data entry." Because when you look at all like data entry, people get like 18 to 22,
yeah, something in that range.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm like 27. You know, like, all right, you know, I'll humor this person. And it all sounds good. Like, oh, we're gonna do it through Microsoft Teams and stuff. Like, all right. So I never heard of this before. Usually people want to do like a Zoom call, like so you can physically see you and ask you questions.
It depends. Like they'll choose apps where they can kind of get your information in one way or another. I know like sometimes people will send you links to like a Google document, and then your email will get added to the doc, like right when you click in there and stuff. Like they do sneaky stuff like that.
Yo, and it was crazy to me. Like, all right, I go through the whole process, and I'm talking to this person, and their entire like profile picture is not even a profile picture of themselves. It's basically like a generic "we are hiring" picture. So I'm like, okay, let's keep going. I had nothing better to do. I finished my workout. Like, who knows? Maybe it's too good to be true. I roll with it. So it's telling me like, oh, let me read this out to you. So it's like, good day. I'm Miss Danielle Sanders, the hiring manager of
Doxed.
Amtex Auto Insurance Company. Please introduce yourself. Indicate your location. So I introduce myself. I tell her who I am, where I'm at. I tell her my situation. Look, I'm trying to get this job remotely
Right.
because I'm trying to move eventually.
Right.
I lay it all out there. Doesn't even acknowledge it.
Okay.
Just go straight into like, your main duties and responsibility is to enter data into computers. This data may be text and numbers. It may be related to customer, supplier,
Which
manufacturer, blah blah.
which
So you
chat
basically
GPT did they get that from?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you basically like ignored what I said, and then start telling me some other thing. So I'm like, all right, cool, sounds good to me. So I'm still playing along. This is strictly an online work from home position. You will be working for the company from your current location until a new branch is open in your area. You will undergo 1 week training from your training supervisor. He or she will train you on how to work with the program, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I understand. And I repeat myself, like, this is my situation. I live here. I'm trying to move. Are you guys cool with that? And then finally they reply with, no, you can move and stay wherever you want. And then wrote me a whole paragraph about the pay, the weeks, the direct deposit, and the paycheck and
So
shit.
what
I'm like,
happened?
okay, cool. So basically, they wrote me like 10, like these 10 questions, and it
Mm.
wasn't even 10. Literally said, I'm gonna ask you 10 questions, and you let me know when you're done. And it's 9 questions. It's basically saying my work experience, and I'm like, yo, didn't you just read my resume? Like, what? I gotta repeat myself again? How fast I could type?
So how long did
Am
this
I
whole process take from your day?
uh like 4:55 all the way until like 9:12?
Oh my god.
But mind you, like, there was a gap, like I said, because
Right.
from
You were looking
4:55
out.
all the way to like 5:30, they didn't reply.
So what information were they trying to get from you? Were they trying to
So they were
get
trying to
trying to
tell.
get you like send money or something?
Nah, you know what it is? I researched this and I googled it immediately. Apparently, there's something where it was on Reddit, on the scam section, mind you. It was funny to me. So they want to get your like email and your phone number and all this stuff in your bank. So when they try to like send you checks and stuff, it'll bounce. So that way
Right.
they use another bank, and then it'll take a while for it to bounce, and then they'll use you and discard you afterward. So you'll be basically doing free work for them.
Right.
But it's a fake company. It's like a fake company.
Yeah.
Like, it's real, but it's like fake people using that company
And then they
name.
get you in trouble
Yeah.
for trying
Exactly.
to take the check. Yeah, I got something like that off a job application one time. They sent me a check for like $1,000 or something, and they're like, okay, you're gonna cash this check, and then you're gonna take 500. That's gonna be your pay, and then you send the rest to this address. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, what the fuck? And I kind of read the whole email, and I was like, what the hell? I took a video of me burning the check on my kitchen table. It's just like on the countertop, and I was like this, this is way. And the guy responded like, so what are you doing? And I was like, this. I can just send him the video again. There's a lot of scams,
good
dude, and
lord.
all these sites like LinkedIn and stuff. Like, it's just a
Yeah, like,
constant sea of scammers. Like, I don't know where people are supposed to go to like look for a regular job. I guess it would be just
It's
like
crazy.
on the official websites of these places, but then they'll like link you to other crap.
Yeah, they'll link you like another website where you have to upload all this crap. And my favorite too is when they ask you to upload a resume, but they still want you to type out everything that you put in the resume. So it's like, what's the point of uploading the resume then? I thought it was like to skip all this.
Sometimes it like autofills, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, the autofill is perfect. I love that. But for some reason, they always want you to like retype it or something. And my favorite part is when they keep sending you to like 2 or 3 different sites. Okay, now you gotta go to this site, plug all this information again. Okay, now go to this site and fill out like this information about disability and veteran status and taxes and stuff. Like, whoa.
You know what I hate when they're like, send us the email, and I'm like, what am I supposed to type in the title of the email so you fucking can see it and find it? Because like, God, it's such a fucking headache, dude.
It is, man, but it's crazy with my situation because it's like I think I explained it to you guys. Like I'm trying to qualify for this loan, and obviously the lender wants to know if you could pay for it because they want to see if you're employed. However, if you do not have a remote job, it's kind of hard, or a job transfer, to explain that to them because they're gonna be like, well, if you're going down there to a different state or whatever, we kind of need proof that you're gonna be able to pay this back to us. So I'm trying to do everything in the book to get this job, and lo and behold, the remote stuff isn't working anymore. It's like a bunch of scams. So you would have to go in person. But the thing in person is, a lot of these employers will be like, look, I know you're willing to relocate, but you got to do it within a certain window. So now you're screwed because like you might lose the job after the interview and everything. Like, how fast can you get down here? Like, well, I gotta look for a house now, or an apartment at least.
Yeah.
Like, well, that might take a while. That might take a couple of weeks. You might have to run your credit. Now the landlord or the loaner, they have to do all this stuff. You got to go through a closing window. It's a whole mess, bro. And I'm taking the remote job route because at least with the remote job, you get the job, you start at home, that you eliminate all that, and then you can just travel freely and do whatever you got to do. Check out the home. Say to the lender, look, I've been at this. I know I'm leaving this job in New York City, but I have another job lined up. I work remotely.
Yeah.
So that way, they at least have your back on that. But it's getting ridiculous, man. It's like everything is like throwing me for a loop.
It sucks because a lot of these companies, like, they started doing remote work, and then they started slowly, I can't talk, Xbox 97. They started slowly phasing the remote jobs out because a lot of people weren't working, really. They were just kind of doing whatever they wanted, and like they weren't seeing a return on productivity, so they started forcing people back to the office, back to these places. Like, a lot of companies, kind of phase that stuff out. And it, personally, like, I'd prefer to work from home, so I don't have to, travel. I don't have to do any transit. I could stay here, save myself the 2 hours a day, dicking around.
Exactly.
But, a lot of people took advantage, and they were just like sitting at home, watching Netflix.
I don't know. It depends on the people, though. But
yeah, it depends on the people, and it also depends on learning how to work from home. Also, is part of it.
Exactly. As long as you do the job.
Yeah.
I don't think they really care. Like you could make a case with your bosses or whatever, whoever's in charge. Like, yo, the work is getting done, right? Maybe it's a little slow. Maybe it takes a while to communicate because you don't know if other people have something going on in their lives right at the moment. But the work is getting done at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. But I get what you're saying. Like, a lot of them are trying to force you back into the office. Like, nah, like COVID is over. Like, you guys aren't as productive as you used to be. But when you really sit there and think about it, like, how productive can you be? You sitting in a chair in an office building while your company is paying like high rent to rent this whole building out, bro. That's one thing you don't have to do anymore. You don't have to pay for this building, and now people can work from home. That's like an extra.
It's an option for me. It should be an option that's available for those who want it.
Exactly.
If the company is capable of doing it, if the job gets done, if it's not a huge headache, why not? Why not let people do it?
I just feel like the job market is just crap in general. Like, a bunch of people I know that got like coding certs, degrees and stuff, and they still can't land the job, bro.
Yeah,
like, it's insane to me
bathrooms at McDonald's.
Yo, I don't even know if they could get that. There was a dude that said, like, I put my master's in my resume just to see if I like what the difference would be if I had it there or not, and they still wouldn't pick them. So it's crazy out there. Like, it doesn't even matter anymore. Like I heard that they take all your resumes and they basically dump it into an automated system that reads your keywords.
Yeah.
And when you don't have those keywords, they're like, oh, you've been denied. Sorry. Oh, like generic. Oh, you've been denied. You've been denied. You've been denied. It's like, damn, bro. And my favorite part is when the boomers come in with their boomer advice, like, oh, Why didn't you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go and shake the manager's hand in person and tell him you're really good for the job?
That might work.
And I'm
So.
like, maybe, man. But I look at them like, yo, this ain't 1962 anymore, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
You go and shake the manager's hand, tell him, you're excited to work here. He says, you have to go online.
Yeah, yo, that's funny you told me that shit. That happened to me back when I was like 18, and I went to the CVS here on 9th Street. And what happened was I went in there with my resume and a job application. Like I took it all out, and I went, and like the employees and the manager all looked at me and started laughing. Like, are you retarded? You gotta do this online now. Like, why are you here? Like they literally looked at me like I was. This was like back in 2008, bro.
Yo, I used to work HR for a small department store that's now out of business, and there was this guy who would come in like he sent his application online. Like I think he came in one day and he's asked how to get a job, and I told him to apply online and stuff. And then he would keep coming around like twice a week maybe. He'd keep coming around and showing up. It's like, oh, how's it going? And
he was trying to be friendly.
He was trying to do the old school thing where you come in and you show your face and blah blah blah. And I told him, I was like, we have hundreds of applications, and if you didn't score high on the test or whatever, like they're not gonna call you, they're not gonna do anything. Like they're just gonna not respond. So if you do get a call, like they'll call you or whatever. It's not gonna be you showing up here and asking, because it's not gonna happen. And he just stopped showing up after that.
Yo, that's crazy. He took the boomer advice. He was like, yo, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna work, get that union pay, get my pension,
I wasn't
get my 5 houses.
I wasn't supposed to do that, and I've done that to like 2 people. Like some person called me, and I was like, yeah, like the way our system is.
I appreciate you doing that than to waste my time in a way. At least you telling me straight up, like, you got to do it through the system. You doing anything else is not gonna even factor.
Like we could look at them, we could hire them, but like it wouldn't say that they passed our test, and we wouldn't. They would tell us not to pick those people, even though the people who passed the test probably, shitheads also. So
Nah, I'm telling you, it's getting tough out here, man. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. Like 406 and counting, man. It's crazy.
The housing crash is coming. It's coming soon. Trust the plan.
Yeah, 2 more weeks. I'm waiting for that one. I've been waiting. Yo, that was the biggest screw up. Yo, every day I think about that. 2019, 2018, even 2020. Those low interest rates, man. 3%, 2%. The houses are still affordable, and we just stood here sitting on our butts, man.
What's the interest rates looking like now?
Oh my God, you don't even want to know, bro.
Oh, terrible.
We went from the Trump 2 to 3% to the riding with Biden 8%, bro, and rising.
Not to get political. Wait, what the hell? What's showing up on my screen? Oh, I'm streaming my screen? What the heck?
Yeah.
My bad. I meant to stream this.
Why
did that stream? That's so odd.
That's been streaming the whole time, bro.
You guys didn't say anything. At least for the
Jose rant.
At least for the fans.
I didn't even know, bro.
For the fans, it'll be fine. But for you guys are looking at my screen for a while, looking at my emails.
The 406 emails saying, like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Come back at a later time. We went with a different candidate. You didn't put this keyword in your resume."
There was one person I applied to, and I emailed them back like, "What could I have done better?" And they actually told me, and I was like, "All right, I appreciate you." Because
shit, it wasn't like a machine. It was actually somebody on the other side, like, you could try doing this and this, but you didn't hear it from me.
No, like she was very nice about it. Appreciate it. I guess it's a little different when it's like type of creative endeavors. You might actually get someone on the other side of reading your email, maybe. I don't even know.
That has to be relieving. At least one person is there, like a real person, not just a machine telling you no. That's like.
It would take a lot of time to respond to everyone like that. Sure.
I understand.
I remember one time, dude, I applied for this little supermarket in my neighborhood, and they had scheduled interviews like every hour throughout the whole day from like morning to close, and there was just a constant line throughout the entire store, like through several aisles, and then outside of the store there was a line, and it's like you had like maybe 5 positions listed.
Oh shoot,
like,
bro! That sounds
what
like
kind of incompetency would lead to like every single person showing up who applied at all online? And it's just
I just have flashbacks of the original iPhone when it came out with that big line.
yeah, everyone
That's
wanted
what I
their
could
iPhone
imagine.
from this little crappy supermarket, from this stupid little Aldi's.
That's how bad it is, bro. Like when you look back in history, like think about it. During the Great Depression, how many people were outside just to get a loaf of bread, bro, and coffee and stuff? That's how the job and the housing shit is. Everybody's waiting on the sidelines, lining up. They just want something, anything.
I think
I
that
know
was
people out
I
there
think
that-
that was the summer. That was the summer before the whole Coof thing that happened.
Oh my god!
Funny enough.
You imagine that shit? They lined up, probably got that job, and then they lost it anyway.
Oh, good lord.
Holy shit, bro! Yo, that would have been like the ultimate spit on your face moment.
So is the Great Depression here or what?
I think we're getting there, man. I think
We're-
not
we're
to get
almost there?
political, but you know, if certain people get into certain positions again, I think we might be going there. It's gonna be accelerated.
Everything
'Cause
keeps
the-
getting more expensive, and everything keeps getting smaller.
Exactly. The way the housing market is, it's never been this expensive and this crazy before. And people are saying that it might be probably half a decade to a decade before we're gonna be able to afford houses comfortably in a market.
So when are these Wall Street cucks are gonna start jumping out the window then?
I mean, the stock market is doing okay for now, but you think about it, they could just keep printing and printing and printing in all these fucking fiat currency bills because at the end of the day, you know, they're not really gonna go bankrupt.
To protect
government
the
is
life
always
cycle.
The government always gonna bail them out.
Yeah, pretty much.
In 2008, it already showed that. The banks, big corporations get away with anything, screw over the economy. All it takes is Congress saying, yup, just give them a slap on the wrist and bail them out.
It's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, but it's crazy, man. Like after that crash, it was like the best time to buy. Everything was super low interest rates, and then the coup happened, and everybody started panic buying and panic leaving from certain areas. So there was like red zones, like New York City and all this stuff, for example. Like, oh, you gotta leave this place. You can't be here. This is where the COVID is gonna take control. It's gonna be too deadly. Look at all these ships lined up. Spoilers: nobody used the fucking ships that they sent. And all this stuff, like everybody panicked and fled to all these other places down south, and that in turn, like, that inflated the market because like places like Florida weren't even anticipating that. All these people coming, like, oh shoot,
Florida, Texas,
and exactly Texas,
Carolinas.
Idaho, even Montana, dude.
I
All these people from
think my
California
cousin
go to
moved to
Montana.
Montana.
I thought about that. Like me and Michelle even talked about that, like around the time, like I think 2020, 2021. And I look back, like all these people from California are gonna go over there, and they're gonna screw it up again, like they screwed up California. So is it even worth it?
This place is
it's
a
getting
mess.
nuts.
Let me move and go vote the same way.
Pretty much, dude. It's like that meme. The guy's like, "Oh, this is terrible. I'm gonna move somewhere else," and then he still votes for the same thing. Like it's so crazy.
Well,
to me,
that
man.
wasn't the problem. The problem was, it's
I
all
didn't
it's
vote
all so
hard enough.
tired. It's all so tiresome.
Yeah, it's so tiresome, dude. Like at this point, the best way to escape is go to the middle of nowhere in this country, Arkansas, Nebraska, like some shit, Wyoming, just somewhere in the middle of in the country, Midwest, whatever. Put your feet down. It's funny. You could get a giant McMansion with 4 or 5 bedrooms, 3 baths for like $250 to $300 something K.
Yeah, but aren't those places like ultra racist and everything?
Yes, but I don't care. I'm trying to
Oh,
live my
good.
life, bro.
Oh, good lord, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'll welcome the open
Oh.
arms. Like, how you doing, man? If you want to draw a swastika in my front lawn, so
Oh,
you want to
what
put a
the-
KKK, a burning,
They're
whatever.
gonna-
ladies and gentlemen,
They're gonna
we
call
do not
you a bunch of
promote any.
words.
Oh,
Your avatar might be that of a very light-skinned character, but the reality.
That's how I feel on the inside. That's my persona.
Persona.
oh,
Oh boy.
terrible.
I mean, it is what it is, I guess. At this day and age, it's hard to care one way or the other.
It is. It's like it's pretty demoralizing until government actually steps up and tries to get a hold of things, which is like exactly it's laughable. Like keep waiting for something like that. You know?
Wait, I thought you were making a joke.
Oh no, I'm being serious.
The government.
That's the worst
The
part.
government's gonna step up and do something.
They're totally gonna
The
step
fact that
up
they're
and stop,
doing
like,
anything is what's wrong.
yeah, like they're totally gonna stop BlackRock and the Chinese from investing and stealing our houses.
No,
so they
they
can
already
just
bought
turn
up
them into
everything.
rentals and B&Bs.
They'll pretend to care about TikTok and stuff so they can have their own data farming.
But you know what's funny? Everybody's waiting for the next housing crash, but it's the boomer crash, basically, what they should call it. Everybody's
crash.
saying it, but they're not saying it in the way that we're thinking it. Boomers are gonna die off in mass, and I do not wish that on anybody, but that's just the realistic part of life. People die. They get old age, and they are the ones that own a large majority of houses. They have 2, 3, 4 houses, whatever, properties. And unless they let their kids inherit it or family or whatever, it's going back to the banks, bro.
Oof.
At the end of the day, it's like, and there's a lot of boomers out there, even the famous ones, like musicians and like actors and whatever. They're basically saying like, yeah, I have all this property, I have all this stuff from my kid, but I'm not gonna give it to them. They're gonna have to pull themselves up from their bootstraps and get their own property their own way. Why do they have to ride my coattails and live life comfortably? Like basically, fuck you, I got mine. Even to their own kids, bro. What is funny?
Jesus.
They don't do it to their wives because they know better. They're like, no, don't worry, honey, I'm gonna leave you a house or two. No.
This is
it's
a
just for the
lot
kid.
of conjecture and hearsay.
Good lord. I mean,
I gotta put my foot down and say this is a lot of speculation. But I get what you're saying.
You know, it's crazy out there, man. People really think like once the boomers start like going away, it's gonna get better. I feel sorry for the Zoomer generation and the generation Alpha. They're gonna have it worse than us.
I feel like anytime something happens where it's a scramble and stuff is up for grabs, the government's hand is way bigger than everyone else's.
It's crazy to me, man.
Anything else you'd like to touch up on as far as the current state of things? The current state of let's not get too spicy, but
I mean, not really. That basically is what's been going on. Besides that, just finally looking to pay for this driving school thing, get the car, and see what I can do from there.
nice.
Baby steps.
Very
I mean, if I
nice.
can't get the house, can't get a decent work from home job, at least I get the car. Put that off my checklist.
Don't you want to pay $800 a month for Ubers?
I mean, to be fair, bro, you're gonna be paying even more than that for the car, insurance, the maintenance and stuff. You know,
Yeah, might as well get a
the
car.
the perk is like basically the perk
I'm paying
is you drive
Ubers and I'm
yourself.
getting nothing. I'm just getting the ride.
Like it's crazy to me. Like unless you have like a credit card or some stupid shit that gives you perks for doing that, I don't know.
No, it's not. They give you like 5% a month if you sign up for this stuff. It's like one free ride a month. It's like, okay, thanks.
I think I better use this one free ride.
My one free ride to work. Gee, thanks, mister.
Better use that shit when I have to make a decision between lunch and making it to work.
So, Duke, any last words for the fans? We're at an hour and a half.
ladies and gentlemen, today was a wonderful episode. You know, we have our guest here, Jose, and I hope he entertained you guys with his little story.
Wow,
Thank you
little
again for having
story.
me.
Jeez.
A little, if there's a little rant over there.
My little
Talking about
sad story as I'm playing the world's
job
smallest
market,
violin.
and the current housing crisis and everything.
I apologize for the bad layout, everybody, but it was the best I could do with the time given.
No, you ain't do nothing wrong, man. I thought everything was fine. We have room for a fourth.
Who will it
person.
be?
I wonder who will it be?
I hear he fries canned tuna.
Will it be John Lear?
John Lear.
Will it be Ted Kaczynski? Who will it
Ted
be?
Kaczynski.
Who could it be now?
Then we can sign off. Jose, do you want to do it for us in real life?
Jose, any last words for the fans? And of course, you're welcome to come back anytime.
Just route me now.
All right, routing begins.
All right, Jose, say it.
Say what?
Hold on.
I thought I was about
hold
to
on,
say
wait.
routed.
Jose's gonna say it right now. Hold on. Where is it?
Yeah, I've been waiting for this. I got the picture. All right, that's cool.
All right, there we go, Jose. Thank you, Jose.
Oh man, it all depends on your skills. Face it straight. Go for broke.
Oh god.
Bro.
Of course.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna leave you with Punk. Have a good night.
Learn some footsies, motherfucker. Fuck out of here. That random shit, bro.